Brad Pitt in the movie Troy, state of California, and carp. What do these three things have in common? They're golden. We're here on the beautiful central coast of California, putting our fishing skills to the test, chasing the smart, very strong carp. Carp are an immigrant fish, and I'm an immigrant man. So you know what I'm gonna do? As I go out here, I chase these worthy opponents, these golden ghosts of the flats. I get rejected by fish after fish. I lose some fish, I land some fish. It's an emotional roller coaster, and that's what we love about it. That's why we're out here on this beautiful, beautiful sunny April day. These little birds down here are sometimes the death of me as I'm walking the flats. They will spook off, and in the act of them flying over, the carp that they fly over spook. And sometimes they'll just bounce and bounce in front of me. So you gotta come up here and try to sneak around them. The culinary segment of this episode is brought to you by a pasta made with a 7-hour arrabbiata sauce that I made yesterday. It's delicious. Feeds the mind and the body, and in turn nurtures the soul. And we got an island lager from Kona Brewing Company because it's hot. It's really hot, and the fishing's been tough. I was starting to see a lot more carp up shallow, but they're spooky as hell. I've hooked one and I lost him. I set the hook kind of soft. I wasn't sure if he took it, and I was punished for that by him shaking me off right at the first head shake. I'm forcing myself to take a break, eat, refill, recharge my soul, calm the spirit, and head out again after this lunch, hopefully with a renewed sense of purpose and to catch some carp. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. I walked quite a few miles to get this fish today. They're being super spooky. They weren't up shallow all morning. I didn't see my first fish until 2 hours ago. That's when I saw the first fish move up shallow, and then since I've seen a few up shallow, but they're all super spooky. This guy, very subtle take. Looks like he's post spawn, and it's pretty skinny. That's why it wasn't the greatest fight ever. Usually they kick my ass, but So the gear that I'm using, I'm using a 6-weight Sage Bolt. I have a 6-weight Monic saltwater clear fly line. When they're in these shallow waters and super spooky, this clear line has really paid off, because you can make those delicate presentations close to the fish, because you gotta overshoot the fish a bit and then drag the fly into their view. So if they get spooked by the fly line, you can't do that. So these clear lines have actually been very helpful in these situations. This is a water pump. I think it pumps out water. Do you see the carp feeding on it? It's on the side there, just slurping. Showing all the algae up there. It's good to take things easy. Take a sip of beer, let the carp feed, let their guard down a little bit, and then come back and hopefully catch a few. Yeah, second fish of the day comes soon after. A nice fish. Both these two fish are post spawn, so they're finished spawning and now they're feeding afterwards. It's funny, I was here last week and earlier this week, and all I was catching was pre-spawn fish. They just group together and based on what they're doing. And there he goes. Awesome. That was a good fight. Kicked my ass for a bit. Well, the obvious answer of why they've been acting differently today than earlier this week or last week especially is obvious, and I should have known. And I just wasn't thinking about it. It's that the moon is getting to be full. So a lot of these fish have probably been spawning all night. That's probably why there's less fish on the flats and why the ones that I'm catching are all spawned out. They've been, those are probably the fish I saw spawning last week, but the pre-spawn fish I was catching last week are probably spawning this week. That would explain why I haven't seen that many fish on the flats as I have been the past week or so, past few weeks. That's what I'm thinking, and I feel like an idiot for not having thought of that before. This has been a strange day. Super spooky fish, super spooky. I didn't see any of the fish come up shallow until about 11 o'clock, which is pretty late. I think the full moon might have something to do with it. They were maybe busy doing some lovemaking in the evening, or stayed up late maybe. But it was a good day. Managed to land 2, lost a few. It's always nice to be out, enjoying this beautiful life. Beautiful life. Look at this. It's not too bad. Not too bad. As always, stay sexy and get laid.